Hello, good evening. Welcome to the group. My name is Tom, founder of TMP Group, and today is Thursday, November 4th, about 10 p.m. Arizona time. Just wanted to drop in tonight and throw a video together that I've had a lot of people um, inside my group and outside of the group ask me. Is it better to trade or is it better to invest? Is it the same thing? So, like the title of the video says, trading versus investing or investing versus trading. Uh, it's kind of important that you figure out which one you are. And a lot of us are hybrids. We do a little bit of both, but ultimately we land on one side or the other. So, first things first, I am not a financial advisor. I just come onto YouTube and share my thoughts and my opinions on certain stocks and philosophies with others. Definitely not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. Any stock that I talk about, any cryptocurrency that I talk about, any investment I talk about, please do your own research on it before you make a decision. We're going to be wrong and we're going to be right. As long as we're right more than we're wrong, that keeps the portfolios in the green. So, if you are new to the channel, hit the like button for me. If you like what you hear, then subscribe. And, I put a couple of videos out every day, 4 to 5 days a week. And hopefully some of the stuff that we bring you here from the group, what we're doing can help you out for sure. But I just want to jump right into it. So am I an investor or am I a trader? And I think that's a question that, I probably asked myself about a year into investing in the stock market, who I was and what I was doing. And when I first started in the market, I was probably considered myself a trader. I love to trade stocks. I love to chase the stocks. More importantly, I love to trade options. And I found myself chasing, the next best thing, being heavily influenced by news or by influencers online, and really kind of going after where I thought the next quick buck was. And I soon realized that my portfolio wasn't growing. At points it would skyrocket, and other points it would end up in the negative. And I didn't like that. So I started to adjust my spend and adjust my investments and put more money into equities, long-term equities. And I find myself now with about 90% of my capital tied up in equities. And out of that 90%, probably 30% in cryptocurrency and 70% of the sum of the 190 is in stocks and funds. And then the other 10%, I still trade options. I still swing trade. I'll even day trade if the opportunity is right. But that's only 10% of my money. So let's kind of figure out who we are and where do we go from here. And I'm not going to say that one is better than the other. It's just that investing seems to work better for me. It helps me sleep at night. Okay, so is there a difference between investing and trading? Absolutely. Again, there's a lot of similarities, but let's go over some of the differences. When you trade, you're working on something very short term. Now, you can day trade, which means you're in and out of a trade in before or after the market opens, unless you trade before market, and then basically out when the market closes. So most traders are constantly watching their position, and they're not in it very long if they're day trading because they rely on a lot of volatility, as opposed to an investor. Okay, an investor's in it for the long term. Now, me, I have 3 different time horizons. I consider myself a long-term investor. 1 year is one horizon, 5 years is another horizon, and then there's an indefinite period of time, which is, it could be 20 years. So let's just say 1 year, 5 years, and 20 years. And everything that I look to do, I look to put into one of those 3 categories. Most of it is in the 5 to 20 year category. Just because, I like to build wealth. Traders are going to rely heavily on technical analysis. So they're going to watch the charts. They're going to buy the dips. They're going to sell the rips. whereas investors rely more on fundamentals of companies. So we're all familiar with AMC, right? AMC is not a fundamental play, yet a lot of people are holding, including myself, holding shares that we bought, last year for under $10. And so you have some traders in an AMC and you have investors in AMC. But we, as investors, want to look at fundamentals of the company. We want to look at their earnings ratio. We want to look at how stable is the company, where's it going, what kind of growth is projected. I always like to say, when in doubt, zoom out. You can take pretty much any growth stock that's been in the market for over 5 years and look at a 5-year chart on it, and you'll see that if you would have gotten into it 5 years ago, you would have had some substantial gains. Traders don't really enjoy a lot of the perks that come with investing. And let me tell you what I mean. As an investor, we enjoy and are entitled to and receive benefits, I call them perks, such as stock splits. So if you were in Tesla a year ago, then all the shares that you own in Tesla split. And so now you have a multiple of that. Same thing with Apple. If you're trading and you're into it for a day trade or a swing trade, you're not going to get those splits. Another thing that you don't get is you don't get dividends. So a lot of stocks out there will pay you dividends. They'll pay quarterly dividends, they'll pay annual dividends. And as an investor, we get those dividends and we can just reinvest those dividends, or we can put them in our cash accounts. As a trader, it involves a lot of brokerage time. Okay, and when I say brokerage time, I know everybody's trading on their phones, trading on their PCs, trading from home, right? But we're constantly in and out of our apps, and it takes a lot of time. I know that when I was trading, I would have a hard time going to sleep at night, and was anxious to wake up in the morning. If I was swing trading from day to day, especially options, because they expire. And I was nervous, to be honest with you. I was confident in my positions, but I was nervous that the market would shift, and the market is very volatile. It's a stock market, okay? As an investor, we don't spend as much brokerage time, what I like to call it. It's more set it and forget it. So if I have 60 to 70 positions at any given point in time in my portfolio, and I consider a full position 100 shares of a stock. So say I have 100 shares of Ford, or I have 2 positions in Ford. I have 200 shares of Ford. I let Ford sit. And as it grows, it grows. And when it drops, it drops. And Ford's not a real sexy, fast-moving stock, although lately it has been. But I can look back over a year and a half and recognize that, I've got 80% returns on Ford. And I haven't had to do anything. A good trader, in my opinion, is going to make somewhere between 8 to 10% a month. And that's if they're a good trader. Okay, there's plenty of traders that are not good and they're losing, 10 to 20% a month. But if you're making 10% a month, it's 120% a year. As an investor, I'm looking to 3 times the S&P. S&P averages between 7 and 9%. So a year. So I'm looking for 20 to 30% annually. Now, every 3 years, I double my money at a 30%, 33%. So there's risk, there's reward. There's risk in both, there's reward in both. Last thing, as a trader, you really have to find the right time to get in and out of a stock. You have to time the market. As an investor, I feel that I create wealth by dollar cost averaging. And I'll do another video on dollar cost averaging for those of you that are new. That term is new too. But I dollar cost average into my position. So whether it's high or low for the day that I'm buying, I'm paying the price. And at the end of a year, end of 5 years, end of 20 years, depending on how many positions I want to fill in that particular stock, I've bought in on an average price, so I capture all the growth. And that's really what it's all about. So ask yourself the question, am I a trader? Am I an investor? Am I a trader that wants to be an investor? or am I an investor that wants to trade? It's a tough one. It's one that I struggled with for quite some time. And I think I found peace with the fact that I'm a hybrid of both. I'm 10% trader and I'm 90% investor. And I'm trying to build generational wealth and the type of wealth that I can pass on to my kids and they can pass on to their kids. If your money is not working for you, then you're working for your money. Now, when we go to bed at night and our money's working for us, guess what? We sleep, but our money doesn't sleep. Our money keeps working and working and working. And when we wake up in the morning, it comes over to the bedside and says, here's what I made you. And it goes back out to work. And it's the best feeling in the world knowing that your investments that you have high conviction in, even on a down day, even if something happens, even if a black swan event happens, over the course of time, those investments should and will pay off. Pull your portfolio out. Take a look at the stocks that you own. How long have you owned them? Do you own them over a year? If you own them over a year, then you're paying less taxes when you sell out. If you own them under a year, you're going to pay max taxes. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a tax pro or CPA. I'm just a guy that comes on here to YouTube and is trying to share a little bit of my understanding of what I've done to make me successful. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you did, please hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what else you'd like to see, what you'd like me to talk about. And subscribe. Subscribe to the video, share it, and I'll be here. So hopefully we wake up tomorrow and it's a green day for all of us across the board. Okay? Until then, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one.